You're sitting in the interview and everything is clicking. Good energy, good conversation. And then they ask the one question where the truth might actually hurt you. So, why are you leaving your current job? And in your head, the real answer plays like a highlight reel. Your manager is a micromanager who schedules check-ins about the check-ins. You haven't gotten a raise in 2 years. The culture is toxic. The company is sinking. Your team got gutted in a reorg, and now you're doing 3 people's jobs. Pick one. Pick all of them. But you can't say any of that. Because the moment you badmouth your current employer in an interview, something shifts in the room. The interviewer doesn't think, "Oh, that sounds terrible, you poor thing." They think, will this person say the same things about us in 2 years? It's not fair, but it's how it works. So the question becomes, how do you answer honestly when the honest answer is negative? How do you explain why you want to leave without sounding bitter, disloyal, or difficult? That's exactly what we're covering today, a simple framework, real examples for the most common situations, and the specific phrases that keep you safe. Before we get into it, thanks to InterviewMate for sponsoring this episode. You paste in any job description, they generate interview questions and answers tailored to that specific role. Practice with real questions before your interview. Check them out at interviewmate.ai. First, let's understand what the interviewer is really trying to figure out. It's not gossip. They're assessing 3 things. 1, are you running away or running toward? Candidates who are fleeing a bad situation sound desperate. Candidates who are pursuing a better opportunity sound intentional. Same person, completely different impression. The difference is framing. 2, are you going to be a problem? If you trash your current boss, the interviewer wonders whether you'll do the same to them. If you complain about the culture, they wonder if you'll complain about theirs. Fair or not, negativity about a previous employer is treated as a character signal, not a factual report. 3, does this role actually make sense as your next step? They want your reason for leaving and your reason for applying to connect in a logical way. The best answers tie the 2 together. I'm leaving because of X, and this role solves X perfectly. Here's the framework. I call it reframe, redirect, connect. Step 1. Reframe. Take the real, possibly negative reason you're leaving and translate it into a neutral or positive statement. You're not lying. You're describing the same situation through a professional lens. Your manager micromanages everything. The reframe is, I'm looking for a role with more autonomy and ownership. No raise in 2 years. I'm seeking a position where growth and compensation are more closely tied to performance. Company is chaotic and disorganized. I'm looking for a more structured environment where I can do my best work. Boring, unchallenging work? I've grown as much as I can in my current role and I'm ready for a new challenge. Same truth, different delivery. The reframe removes the blame and replaces it with what you want, which is a much more attractive thing to talk about in an interview. Step 2. Redirect. Pivot immediately from why you're leaving to what you're looking for. Don't linger on the current situation. Spend 1 sentence on the reframe and then shift forward. The longer you talk about your current job, the more likely something negative slips out. Move the conversation toward what excites you about the future. Step 3. Connect. Land your answer on this specific role. Tie what you're looking for directly to what this job offers. This turns your answer from "I'm leaving because things are bad" into "I'm here because this opportunity is exactly what I've been working toward." The interviewer stops thinking about your old job and starts picturing you in theirs. Reframe, redirect, connect, 30 seconds total. Let me give you 5 examples for the most common scenarios. Example 1. Bad manager. The real reason: my boss is a controlling nightmare who doesn't trust anyone on the team. What you say: I've learned a lot in my current role, but I'm at a point where I want more ownership over my projects and the autonomy to make decisions. This role stood out to me because of the emphasis on independent problem solving and the trust the team seems to place in individual contributors. No mention of the manager, no negativity. Example 2. No growth or raises. The real reason: I've been passed over for promotion twice and my salary hasn't moved in 2 years. What you say: I've reached a ceiling in my current position in terms of both scope and growth trajectory. I'm looking for a role where I can take on more responsibility and where career development is a priority, which is a big part of what attracted me to your company. This is honest. You did hit a ceiling, you just didn't say anyone put you there. The answer focuses on ambition rather than frustration. Example 3. Toxic culture or company problems. The real reason: the culture is toxic, morale is terrible, and leadership doesn't care. What you say: the company has gone through a lot of changes recently and the direction has shifted from what originally drew me there. I'm looking for an environment that's more aligned with how I work best: collaborative, transparent, and focused on long-term growth. Notice the phrase, the direction has shifted. It's neutral. It doesn't assign blame. It doesn't even say things are bad. It says things changed, and then it immediately moves to what you want, which paints a picture of the kind of environment you'll thrive in. Example 4. You were laid off from your last job and are currently unemployed. The real reason: I got cut in a round of layoffs and I need a job. What you say: my previous role was eliminated as part of a company-wide restructuring. It was unrelated to performance. The entire department was affected. I've used the time since then to sharpen my skills in specific area and be intentional about finding the right next step, which is how I found this role. Layoffs carry far less stigma in 2026 than they used to. State it plainly, clarify it wasn't performance-related, mention what you've done since, and move forward. No apology needed. Example 5. You're not leaving, you're just exploring. The real reason: I'm not actively unhappy, I'm just curious what else is out there. What you say: I'm not rushing to leave, I'm in a stable position, and I value what I've built there. But when I saw this role, it aligned so closely with where I want to take my career that I had to explore it. The opportunity to specific thing about the role is exactly the kind of challenge I've been looking for. This is actually a powerful position to be in. It tells the interviewer you're selective, not desperate. You're here because you chose to be, not because you have to be. That's attractive. Now, the traps to avoid, because even with good intentions, it's easy to slip. Trap 1. The slow leak. You start with a clean, reframed answer, and then the interviewer asks a follow-up question and another, and you gradually reveal more and more until you've essentially described how much you dislike your current company. Watch for this. Once you've delivered your reframe, redirect, connect answer, don't elaborate on the leaving part. If they probe, keep pivoting forward. There are a few factors, but really what's driving this decision is the opportunity in front of me. Trap 2. Off-the-record honesty. Sometimes an interviewer will create a casual, conspiratorial vibe. Just between us, what's really going on over there? Don't take the bait. There is no off-the-record in an interview. Everything you say is being evaluated, even when it feels like a friendly conversation. Stay professional, regardless of the tone. Trap 3. Blaming specific people. Even if your CEO is objectively terrible, naming them, or anyone, as the reason you're leaving makes you look like you externalize blame. Keep it about situations, environments, and directions, never about individuals. Trap 4. Being too vague. I'm just ready for a change is technically safe, but it's weak. It gives the interviewer nothing to work with and makes them wonder what you're hiding. A vague answer invites more probing. A specific, forward-looking answer satisfies the question and moves the conversation ahead. Quick recap. When they ask why you're leaving, use reframe, redirect, connect. Take the real reason and translate it into what you're looking for, not what you're running from. Spend one sentence on the reframe, pivot forward to what excites you, and land on why this specific role is the answer. Keep it under 30 seconds. Never name individuals. Never take the off-the-record bait. And if they probe deeper, keep steering toward the future. The truth is, almost everyone who's job searching has a negative reason for wanting to leave. That's normal. The skill isn't hiding it. It's reframing it into something that makes the interviewer see you as self-aware, intentional, and forward-looking. That's the version of the truth that gets you hired. Check out InterviewMate at interviewmate.ai. Paste any job description. Get tailored interview questions with answers. When you finally get that interview, you want to be ready. 3 questions free, no sign-up. Link in the description. If this episode just saved you from a future interview disaster, share it with someone who needs to hear it before they accidentally vent to a hiring manager. Subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.